All right, what's up, everybody? We are live. My name is Chris, and this is my channel, We Love Comics. And as promised a couple of days ago, I am going to be giving you a sneak preview of all of these slabbed comics, and every one of them in the auction, live auction, are going to be slabbed comics. There's going to be 20 of them altogether. One I'm not sure about because, like I said, if you watched the previous video I did the other day, I might not sell it or not because it's got a pressable defect, which is going to increase the grade a lot. So I'm going to have to think about that one, but I'll show it anyway. And the auction is on Sunday, this coming Sunday, the 17th, so 2 days from now. It starts at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So be there early if you are intending on bidding. Let me show some information while I am waiting for people to come in. And 2 people are here so far, and both of you hit the like button, so thank you for that. I appreciate that. If you are interested in making the bids during the live show, also keep in mind, not every comic sells. So even if you missed the live show, watch the video and contact me, especially if one closes without a bid, because I've had many people after an auction video was already done contacted me about books. Also, somebody may have bid and decided that they couldn't pay, or they found out they didn't have the money like they thought they did, or etc., etc. I've had that happen once in a while. So never be afraid to ask about a book, because the people, if you're looking to buy them, you have to pay right away. But also keep in mind that I will accept payment plans on the bigger comics. I will allow up to 4 months to be able to pay for them with no interest. You would have to make the first payment the day you make the bid. So as long as you could do that, I can hold on to it, no problem. But let me share some information before I show the comics. Life is Good is here. Welcome. If you want to write this down, especially if you're one of the people interested in bidding, and if you know anybody that's interested in comics, even if they're not subscribed or don't know about my channel, if you can let them know about this auction, it will really help. Because basically I lost one of my DJ jobs, so I'm selling these to be able to pay for bills. So anybody that can refer this video to other people, it would be really appreciated. Giuseppe's here. Welcome. So the payments that I will be able to accept, and the way that you can use them. So if you want to write this down or take a screenshot, whatever. Cash App, it's the $ Barnun 11970. Venmo I will accept, and that's at We Love Comics. PayPal, peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. And as you see, if you use Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal Friends and Family, I will throw in an extra comic for free. Now, I've had also people that live near the Tampa, Florida area that wanted to meet in person and pay for their winning in cash. If you'd want to do that, that's no problem. I've done it a couple of times before. But the benefit of cash is I will give you 10% off of your purchase price. Also, if you want to use a money order, because I've had people do that as well. Money order, same thing. If you mail me the money order, because checks, I mean, you could send the check, but it would take two weeks to clear. So until a check clears after 2 weeks, I mean, I wouldn't be able to send out the comic right away. But sending an official money order, I could send it out within 24 hours. But if you send a money order to me, again, you will get 10% off of the price of whatever total is. So if you buy multiple books or just the one, it doesn't matter. Let me show you shipping costs really quick. So again, if you want to write this down so you don't have to worry about it, because I'll show these things periodically when I do the auction. And again, the auction is this coming Sunday the 17th, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. But as you could see, those are all the prices for the shipping. Again, you could make a picture of this with your cell phone or write it down. You don't have to worry about the raw comics because none of these are raw. But in the Continental 48 United States, you can get graded comics, up to 3 of them for $19.99. After that, it'll be $2.50 per slabbed comic. If you live in Canada, Hawaii, or Alaska, again, you don't have to worry about the raw comic, but graded comics, up to 3 of them would be $39.99 for shipping, and it would be $3.50 per slab, anything after that. Internationally, I will ship, but it will be kind of expensive, so keep that in mind. But I will throw in a free comic to kind of compensate for that. But other places will depend on your location, so you can always contact me after you do a winning bid. So let me show the comics, but like I said, I wanted to get that information out of the way, so this way you have access to all of that beforehand. When you are ready to do the bids, and again, this is on Sunday, so there'll be no bids today, but if you see any of them and you're interested in them, this is the benefit of watching this before the auction. I've had a couple of people message me about one of the books, but no one ever sent any payment, so as of now, it's up for grabs. But if you see a book today and you want to give a reasonable offer, you can email me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. That's my business email address. And you could make that offer, and if it's an offer I can't refuse, you'll get the book before the auction even starts. So there is a benefit to watching videos like this. I've had people do that before, where I do the sneak preview, and they want a comic so bad that they don't wait for the auction, and they just give a very good offer. And if it's something worth accepting, I will accept it, and then that will be taken off the auction for Sunday. So contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. If you see any here that you are interested in purchasing, don't do it here because I probably won't see it in the live chat. So again, I'll put the email address right there so you could write that down. All right, so let's show the comics. I'm not going into full detail with these. This is just a sneak preview. On Sunday, I will show more of the comic. These are just to let you know what's going to be there. Price range is going to start anywhere from $99 up to $1,999. And of course, if there's bidding wars, it will go up. I always tell people, check eBay, because you'll see my prices are at the minimum for every one. Now, of course, things can change with movie introductions and things like that, so you never know. But if you've seen my auctions in the past, I am very competitive with my prices. I only sell pretty much key books, so it's not like most people's auctions where they're just getting rid of junk and they're trying to sell you maybe one decent raw comic and throw in about 50 others that, yeah, you might get for a cheap price, but, you know, if you're spending $20 on 100 books, what do you think you're going to sell them for? Now, obviously, if you're buying them just to read them, that's perfect. But these are investment books, and there's some big boy books in here, some grails. So let's go over them. And again, if you see something that you're interested in, you can contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. PayPal friends and family. You don't have to use friends and family. I don't know if they still even have that anymore. But if they don't, then you don't have to worry about it. But I do accept PayPal. And again, I'll show it really quick. Give me a second. So you can see those are the things that I accept. It's been a while since, I think it's been actually about a year, over a year since I did an auction. So they may have discarded the PayPal friends and family since then. So if they don't have that, you don't have to worry, but I can accept regular PayPal. But because I get charged a fee, there wouldn't be an extra free comic in there. All right, so let's get back to showing the comics. Again, this is a sneak preview. We're not going to go with the prices or anything or showing the back. I'm just showing you the front, tell you what it is, the grade, and any significance if there is. All right, so I'm going to go in order. I always start the auction with the more lower value comics, and then they will increasingly get better as we go. So, of course, the last book will be the best book, because as they say, you save the best for last. But that doesn't necessarily mean the first book is not a bad book. So the first one, these books, all of them except for one, I sent in to get graded myself. So none of these are, except for the one, and I'll tell you when I get to it, none of these were ones I bought on eBay or bought somewhere else. These were my ungraded books, sent them in to get graded, pressed and dry cleaned, so you know they're from my personal collection. This, of course, is Thor, God of Thunder, issue number 2. It is graded a 9.8 with white pages. The first appearance of Goro the God Butcher and the Necro Sword, all black. So that is key. Obviously, the Thor Love and Thunder movie didn't do this any justice, but that doesn't mean that it takes away from the actual comic book character. So this is the best time to be buying books like this. I always tell people, you shouldn't really be buying books at their peak of interest. You should be buying them when people don't really care about them as much anymore, because that's when you can get good prices. So that'll be the first book listed for sale on Sunday the 17th at 3:30. Next up, I have a couple of copies of this, so I don't mind giving, well, not giving one away, but selling one off. This is Darth Vader, issue number 3. This is the first print, 9.8, with white pages. You have the first appearance. The major one is Dr. Aphra. Who knows if they're going to use that character in the Disney series? At this point, who knows what they're going to do about anything in the Disney series? But also, of course, 000 and BT-1, the murder droids. But everybody gets this book for the first appearance of Dr. Aphra. It's a very good character that they made. If you agree, that might be a book interested in getting. Again, 9.8 white pages. Continuing with the Star Wars, this one has relevance now. This is Kanan, the Last Padawan. This is one of the variants. If you're going to get some of these newer books, the variants usually are the best way to go. This, of course, is a 9.8. There's a couple of different first appearances, but the major one is Sabine Wren, who is in the current the Disney show. I haven't watched it. It's not my thing. But there's a bunch of other different characters in here. But this would be basically, most people be getting this for Sabine Wren. This is the Plunkett variant. So this is the variant edition at a 9.8. All right. This is one somebody asked if I was going to sell. And then I'm like, well, you know, sometimes when you got to pay bills, because like I said, I lost one of my DJ jobs. Sometimes you got to get rid of stuff if you want to pay bills. So I wasn't ready to sell this one, but hey, if it goes into somebody else's comic collection and it makes them happy, it made me happy for a little while to get this. There is no major significance of this book, but this is Blondie Comics issue number 1. So this is a Golden Age book, graded a 4.5, off-white to white pages from 1947. So, number 1 issue for Blondie. Now, obviously, it's not their first appearance. It may be the first in comic book form, that I don't know. But if you're looking for a number 1 issue from a recognizable Golden Age characters, that's a cool book to add to your collection. And it's not going to be majorly expensive, you know, talking thousands of dollars. All right, some modern books. This is definitely, I have so many of these, I don't mind getting rid of one. So if somebody was looking to get this book, we got Edge of Spider-Verse number 2, first appearance of Spider-Gwen, a.k.a. Ghost Spider. This is the first print. This is graded a 9.6. Let me just make sure. It does have white pages. So, of course, this is the origin and first appearance of Spider-Gwen. To me, I think it's just a matter of time before they give her, especially these days, but give her a live-action movie, especially how well she was perceived in the Spider-Verse movies. I watched both of them, and they were actually pretty good, surprisingly. So this is a 9.6. I do have some 9.8s, but the price of those are so expensive, you know, I would rather give somebody a chance to be able to get this with a close. Now, I did get this pressed and dry clean, but you never know. Sometimes I've seen people resend in books, and it could get a potential 9.8, but I doubt it will, because there is, by the way, there is graders notes on almost every single one of these. I think 1 or 2 of them I got graded before they did the graders notes, but it does say, just see your record, several stress lines along the spine at the bottom back cover. So that's why it most likely would be a waste of time to get this reslabbed to try and get a 9.8. So if you're looking for a 9.6, which is just, well, not as good, but, you know, could be something you can afford. Same thing with this book. Now, this is the one I'm not sure if I'm going to sell. If I don't get the price I'm looking for it, I'm going to basically take this one out because it has a pressable defect that they forgot to press out. So even though, and I showed this the other day, even though this is Ultimate Fallout 4, first print, at a 9.0, it has a half corner bend that does not break color that goes from the front all the way to the back. So this could potentially be a 9.8 with a pressing of that nature because the bend goes all the way through the book, but it does not break color. So there's no other descriptions on the back saying anything about color breaks or anything like that. Now, obviously, if you send something in the mail, it could get damaged, so that doesn't guarantee that can't happen, or the person grading it drops it, or who knows. I mean, stranger things have happened, and I'm not going to guarantee a 9.8. But if this doesn't sell for the price that I'm looking for, I'm going to actually crack this out and resubmit it for the next month's 4 books, because that's going to go up significantly. But somebody might have a chance. Again, I have probably 6 or 7 copies of that book after I sold a bunch of them or gave them away with comic book mystery boxes. All right, next up, I think I showed this one the other day as well, but this is Conan, issue number 1. I believe it's 1970, the year I was born. Yes, I'm that old. This is the first comic book appearance of Conan and the first appearance of King Kull in a cameo. This is, in my opinion, the best cover art from Barry Windsor Smith. That's my opinion. Yours may vary. Fame from the Valiant series that he was a major part of. But this is a 7.0, cream to white pages, and yes, it did come out in 1970. October of 1970, so 1 month before I was born, because I was born November 9th, 1970, if anybody cares. All right, next up. Now, this one is the only one that I bought from eBay already graded. I showed this one the other day, but so I don't know if this was ever pressed or dry cleaned, because I bought it already graded. So the next one up, this is a CGC book. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 45, which is the 3rd appearance of the Lizard. They did not write that in here, but it is the 3rd appearance because issue number 6 is his 1st appearance. Issue number 44 is his 2nd appearance. So unless he was in some other comic book in between 44 and 45, this is his 3rd appearance. I guess they didn't write that because, you know, as well recognized a character the Lizard is, you know, it's not like it's the Joker or Superman or Batman. If this was Batman or Superman, for example, they would probably put his 3rd appearance. But this is a CGC higher grade book, 8.0, off-white pages from 1967. All right, next up, for the Fantastic Four fans out there, this is one I don't mind parting with. This is Fantastic Four issue number 13, which is the 1st appearance of the Red Ghost, but everybody's going to be getting it for the 1st appearance of the Watcher. So if you're interested in getting an early Fantastic Four, here's your chance in the top 20. This is a 3.0 with cream to off-white pages. So the wrinkles, I will change the bag if it matters to you. But there's some wrinkling in the bag because when I put it in there, it kind of scrunched up. So if you want another bag, I have no problem with replacing it. But there's nothing wrong with the case, just in case if you see these wrinkles and everything. That's not the comic or the case itself. Next up, we got Batman issue 251. Very popular Bronze Age Joker cover. They consider this the first modern version of Joker. This book has been signed, and it was authenticated. It is a 5.0. It was signed by Neil Adams. Let me show you the signature. So the signature's right down there in black. So definitely mid-grade book. They do list it as a classic cover. It's got cream to white pages. So if you want to add that one to your collection, and again, you can contact me at any time with any of these books that you've seen if you want to make an offer, or you can make an offer. I wouldn't recommend making an offer because I probably wouldn't know what that is. So let me just post one more time so you can be able to contact me. Hold on a second. There we go. Alright, so that's the first 10. Let's get to the last 10. Another big boy book, or you can consider it a big girl book. Tales to Astonish, issue number 44. That is the first appearance of the Wasp. I'm sure they're not done with this character, but as you could see, this was graded a 4.0, cream to off-white pages. So it's got origin and first appearance of the Wasp, death of Vernon Van Dyne. So I don't think people are getting it for that. But if you're looking for the first appearance of the Wasp, this is a good time to be getting it. Again, I don't know if that character's done yet, but she was in a couple of movies, but I doubt they're done. They're just done with it right now because, you know, Hollywood's on strike. Alright, this one, if you collect comics, you know this book. And I'll change the bag because the bag ripped, but nothing wrong with the comic. This is Silver Surfer, issue number 4. Now, this does not have any it doesn't have any significance. It is all because of this cover. I remember, not this particular book, but when I was a kid going through just the regular boxes back in the 80s, I saw this cover and had to buy it. I think at the time I probably spent about $5 to $8 on it. It got stolen years later, but this is a 4.0. Now, some people say this is a rarer book. Some people say that is not the case, so we'll never really know. But this is still, obviously, you know, a book from the Silver Age isn't going to be it's not going to be printing more of these copies. So as years go on, people lose them, they deteriorate, they get stolen, they get destroyed. But this is one of those hang up on the wall kind of comics. So that's Silver Surfer number 4. They did write that it's the first Silver Surfer versus Thor battle. So, you know, that's a minor significance, but they did mention it. It does have a Stan Lee story. The cover and art is by John Buscema. And they did list it as a classic cover, which it absolutely is. Again, that's one you hang on the wall. Alright, now we're getting into some more of the bigger boy stuff. For those who cannot afford the first appearance of this character, it is the next best thing. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 7. So we're in the first 10 issues of Amazing Spider-Man. This is a 5.0. This is the second appearance of the Vulture. So definitely a book with some significance to it. Hold on, I gotta fix this lamp. It's getting unscrewed from twisting it around so much. Sorry about that. So this is, again, it's not the first appearance, but the second appearance. It is a 5.0, so mid-grade book. Off-white to white pages. I actually thought it might have been higher, but there is, as you could see here, there's one little bit of a page that kind of ripped and somehow kind of it's protruding out a little bit, so I didn't know, you know, what that would do to the grade. But as you could see, the rest of this cover, if that part wasn't there, this would easily be at least a 7, if not a 7.5, or maybe even higher. So if you're looking for something that, because obviously the first appearance, you're talking, you know, you probably couldn't even get a 0.5 of issue number 2 for the price for this one. But if you're looking for the second appearance, an early Spider-Man, this is definitely the way to go. It is a mid-grade 5.0, off-white to white pages. Next up, I have 2 copies of this, so I do not mind. Again, if I have to pay bills, I have to sell something to make the money, so I got to get rid of something, and I got to make sure it's things that people want. So if you missed the opportunity on this one, here's your chance. This is Amazing Spider-Man issue number 1, first appearance of the Sinister Six. So that is a major book, and of course it is the first annual from Amazing Spider-Man, graded a 3.0 with off-white to white pages. So they did write down first appearance of the Sinister Six, which is Doc Ock, Electro, Kraven, Mysterio, Sandman, and Vulture, and also the origin of Spider-Man is retold. The 3.0 is off-white to white pages. We have Steve Ditko cover and art, and a Stan Lee story. So definitely a book to acquire. There have been so many rumors about the Sinister Six. Who knows what's going to happen, but books like that and the ones that are coming don't need movies for them to have relevance, but movies obviously are going to help, bulk up the popularity and also bulk up prices. This book I had about 3 people contact me for, and then they never got back to me. So unless one of them or somebody else here contacts me, this will be up for auction. I don't know why people message me if they're not interested or change. Well, I guess if change your mind, but at least let me know. But anyway, their loss could be your gain. This, of course, is Hulk number 180, which is the first ever appearance of the Wolverine. Now, obviously, it is a cameo, but without Hulk 180, you would not have a Hulk 181. Now, even though my instincts tell me I should be holding on to this because the Deadpool movie is going to be coming out and Wolverine's going to be in it, and the rumors are that Hugh Jackman's going to be doing more after the Deadpool 3 movie as Wolverine, so he's not a one and done. Obviously, they could be not telling the truth, or things can change, you never know. But even if that's not the case, they're going to continue with a new person for Wolverine. So especially if the new person does well and the movies do well and they get away from the SJW stuff, these books are going to skyrocket. So, like I said, my instincts are telling me I should hold on to this, but I got like 12 to 15 copies. So I don't mind getting rid of one of my lower grades if it helps make somebody happy. And that's one of the reasons why I tell people all the time to get multiple copies of especially key issues, because this way, if you need to sell one, or if you want to trade one for something else, you can do that and still own them. So this, of course, is a 3.5. It has cream to white pages. The Marvel value stamp is in the book. Like I said earlier, all the books except for that one that I showed you by CGC, all of these books I sent in myself to get graded. So I always verify to make sure before I send in any book with a Marvel value stamp that it has it in it. And this one absolutely does. So that is a definite book to get. All right, next up, again, I have about 6 copies of this book. So I'm going to sell a higher grade of this book. It's not my highest grade, but I have another one in this grade. I have maybe 3 others to a lower grade and 1 more in a higher grade. So I don't mind getting rid of one. So if you don't own this, this might be your opportunity. We got Amazing Spider-Man, number 129. That, of course, ladies and gentlemen, I'm assuming it's probably mostly gentlemen, but this is the first appearance of the Punisher. There are some rumors about Punisher being in the Spider-Man movies at some point, or maybe even the Daredevil. We don't know. And they might be using the John? Is it Barenthal? I forget how his last name's pronounced. Again, anything can change at this point with the strikes. But this, of course, as you could see, is a high grade. This is a great comic in great condition. I actually thought it was going to be higher, but 6.5 is nothing to sneeze at, especially since when you get higher up, you're talking thousands of dollars. But this is off-white to white pages. First appearance of the Punisher and the Jackal, if anybody cares about that, came out in 1974. Yellow is nice and crisp. Definitely a great book to own. Alright, so there are 4 more books. Again, this is another one I have at least about 15 copies of, so I do not mind selling one. I've sold others in other auctions, so it shows how many of these I had. It was one of the books I was telling people to get for a long time. I still say this is a book, even though I was talking about this in 2016, 2017, this book is still worth getting today. This, of course, Fantastic Four, number 49, which is the first full appearance of Galactus, second appearance of the Silver Surfer, and the first time they are on the cover. And this is I don't know if they consider it a classic cover, but most people, if you go by the artwork, most people would prefer 49 over 48. Now, obviously, 48 is going to be more valuable because that's the first cameo appearance of Galactus, so his first ever appearance and the first appearance of the Silver Surfer. But as far as the covers, now, of course, art is in the eyes of, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. But most people I've seen over the years, and I agree, issue 49 looks nicer. But this is a 4.0 with off-white to white pages. All right, this one I showed the other day. I'm actually surprised no one's asked about it, but that's okay. That means people can bid on it. This is a big boy book. This is Daredevil, issue number 1. I have 3 copies of this book, and that's after I sold 2 or 3. One of them, which I can't believe I sold, but I had to do it to move here back when I was selling in New York. I think I had a 6.0 or a 6.5, and I think it sold for like maybe $1,500 at the time. But this is your chance to add this to the collection. This is the first appearance of Daredevil in his yellow banana suit. Also Foggy Nelson, and also the first appearance of Karen Page. It is a lower grade, but that's going to make it more affordable to people. You know, good luck trying to get a 5.0 for under $6,000. So sometimes, as they say, low grade is better than no grade. But this is a 1.5 with cream to off-white pages. So definitely, if you're looking for a key issue, as you can see, I don't sell just generic runs of comics just to get rid of them. I sell stuff people want. Now again, I will allow payment plans of up to 4 months. And keep in mind, on eBay, they charge tax. I don't charge tax. So even if you want it at the same price somebody else did on eBay, you're going to save money, because let's say the winning bid's $2,000. Well, you're going to pay probably about $100 in taxes, give or take. So that's an extra $100 out of your pocket. When if you would have bought it here for the same exact price, you would have saved at least about $100. So remember, there are no taxes here in the live auction. All right, so 2 more books to go. These are the big boy stuff. These are considered grails. Now, these are not $10,000 books or anything like that, but they're in the price range of a Fortium. We got Amazing Spider-Man number 14. First appearance of the Green Goblin, and the only appearance of the Green Goblin's flying vacuum, because he gets his glider in his next appearance, which is Amazing Spider-Man number 17. So it's I'm surprised they don't mention that. Any of the grading companies never mention that. It is also the first Hulk Spider-Man crossover in Force's appearance, but that's not their first appearance. Their first appearance was in issue number 10. So this is a big boy book. 2.0, so it's going to be more affordable to more people. Obviously, this isn't a $20 book, but it's not a $10,000 book either. It's got cream to white pages, and again, it does say first appearance of the Green Goblin and first meeting of Spider-Man and the Hulk. This is one of those books that, yes, the prices were higher when before the movie came out with Green Goblin in it with the Spider-Man movie, but this is one of those books you don't need a movie to retain the value or keep its value. It might go down a little bit, but that's the best time to be buying. So again, I have probably about 4 or 5 other copies of this book, so I do not mind selling one of my lower grade books if it helps me and it makes you happy. Alright, so last but not least, this one is going to be on the rise because season 2 is going to be coming out, not sure when, because again, the Hollywood strike has basically delayed everything. But this character's not done yet, and extremely popular. So this is the time to pounce on this before the show comes out, because it's already an established character. He's been in many movies, and it's got several key appearances, which is funny because most people only see it for the one, but there's some others which of course I will go over. So the last book, the big boy book for the auction on Sunday, will be Journey into Mystery number 85, which is the first appearance of Loki, Heimdall, Asgard, and the first appearance of Odin. Now, Odin is a cameo, but that's still his first appearance. So you have several major first appearances, and of course, it's the third appearance of Thor, because remember, he came out in Journey into Mystery '83, so it's the third appearance of Thor, first appearance of Loki, Heimdall, Asgard, and cameo appearance, first appearance of Odin. So it's got a lot of major people in there. This is a 4.0 with off-white pages. So that is absolutely a key book to add to your collection. It's got Jack Kirby, Steve Ditko art, Jack Kirby cover, Stan Lee, and Larry Lieber's story. So all the big boys are in this one. So those are the 20 books. If you are interested in any of these, if you watch this, whether you're watching it now live or you watch it later on today or tomorrow or whatever, if you're interested in any of these books before the auction, you can contact me at peacefulfeelings@yahoo.com. So I will post it right here. That's in the live chat so you can see it. But I'll also, right now, show you again, if you are just coming in late, these are the payments I will accept for any of these, either Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. You can also send a money order or pay cash if you want to meet me. Obviously, it'll be in a public place. If you live near the Tampa area in the West Coast, central part of Florida, you can message me in that. So if anybody's interested, you can contact me beforehand, or you can wait until the auction. Keep in mind, if somebody makes a reasonable offer for a book before the auction and I accept it, that book will no longer be available for sale. So that's a chance to take on that. But let me also show you all the shipping information if you want to write that down. So the auction will be starting at 3:30. It will go in the order of the books that I showed. All payments must be made at the end of the day or within 24 hours if you need it. You can do the payment plan if you want, but again, first payment has to be paid within either immediately after you win or within 24 hours. Because what will happen, and the reason I ask for immediate payment, is in the past I would have people make fake bids and then bid on 20 different things. So you cannot make another bid until the first thing you won has been paid for. So if you're looking at those books and say, well, I was interested in about 4 of them, or even just interested in 2, you cannot make a bid on another comic until you make a payment on the first one. And that also means if you want the payment plan to at least do the first month's deposit. So that's how I keep people from basically flooding the spam on the live chat. I also have the live chat on a delay, so there will not be a chance for somebody to spam. I will have some moderators help me out. Of course, you'll have people that'll try, but I know who's legit and who's not. There are people that have that I can see in the live chat, like Trade Paper Dad, who's purchased from me before. And you can ask him right now in the live chat the experience with buying from me. I wrap everything securely, and I send it out quickly. So your comics will arrive safe, and they will arrive fast. So basically, depending on how long it takes you to send the payment, I could send it out. If you win on Sunday and you make the payment on Sunday, most likely Monday, but the latest by Tuesday, your books will already be on their way. I will send everything with a tracking number, priority mail, so you'll get it quickly. And like I said, it will be protected well. So if you want to ask anybody in the live chat their experience with purchasing from me before, no one's ever complained from buying books from me. Every one of them has arrived safely. So if you've purchased in an auction before from me, if you want to share the experience in the comment section, it would definitely help. So those are the books, and there is my AI art. I just kept it simple today, just to keep the information. 11 people watching, 12 people liked it. So again, if you can share this with other people, because like I said, I'm doing this because I lost one of my jobs and a large amount of my income. 50% of my income is now gone. So I'm selling these books to be able to make sure I could pay bills. So if you know anybody that might be interested in purchasing any comics, if you can send them my way, I would take that as a personal favor and would be very appreciated. Because as you can see, I don't have hundreds of thousands of viewers. I mean, out of my 10,000 subscribers, I average about 200 views. So if anybody can help me by sharing this, it would really be appreciated. And Trade Paper Dad. And finally, I said your name right, because I remember a couple times I've said something else, which I don't know why. It just always would come out. But he did write, you ship your books in excellent packaging. They always arrive safely and in great condition. Like I said, Trade Paper Dad has bought from my auctions on several different occasions. So he's definitely somebody that you can ask about the experience. I take this very seriously because I know what it's like to get a comic ordered from somebody, like, for example, on eBay, and it be in a manila envelope or just in some poor packaging with no protection. I mean, to protect a loose comic with bubble wrap, I mean, you might as well just wrap it in tinfoil. That won't happen with me. So your books will be very well protected. So unless the UPS guy or the FedEx guy or whatever uses it as a hockey puck, they will arrive safely. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Thank you to the 13 people that hit the like button. The auction is Sunday on the 17th at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Get there early. And even if you miss out, again, contact me after the auction if you miss it live, because many books may not sell, or somebody may have won and they did not honor their bid for whatever reason. So don't ever be afraid to ask, because I've had people buy books where somebody won it and they didn't pay for it. Or somebody just said a book that wasn't bid on, they won it. So if you miss it live, you could still have a chance. So that's it. Give it a thumbs up if you can. Hit the notification bell. It's going to start directly at 3:30, so be here early. And I'll go over these comics in greater detail. But at least now you know the type of books that I sell in my auctions. You could check previous auctions that I've done, and you can see I'm always selling big boy books. Like, I put some lower ones for people that may not be able to afford the big boy books. But as you could see, the like 99% of them are all key issues. And even the one that's not a key issue, it's a high-grade early Spider-Man. So, we'll see you on Sunday. Hopefully you could make it. Hopefully you could be kind enough to share it. And don't forget, it's not you. It is not I. It's We Love Comics. Thank you for everybody watching. And for the people in the live chat, have a great day.